Hey guys, it's Joe, Precautious Bear, and today, by request, I'm going to be doing the things that I'm most excited for in Battlefield 3, which is quite a lot, so it should take up the whole commentary. Okay. First thing is new classes. As I mentioned in the last video, they are switching up the classes quite a bit. Instead of the medic being the LMG class, the medic has been merged into the assault class, to make sort of just a front rushing sort of slayer class, but also a healer, because that's where you want to be if you're healing, right at the front lines, and so that should be a good thing. They are now reintroducing, I'm sorry, from I think Battlefield 2, I'm not quite sure, the support class, which is the LMG class. It now has bipods, which increase the accuracy. Bipods actually are also available for snipers, which also increases the accuracy, but I'm assuming sort of makes maneuverability quite a bit less and things like that. And I think engineers staying the same, apart from that they can use carbine rifles. Oh, yeah, carbines, I guess. And they now have a flashlight underslung on their weapons, which means they can blind people in dark areas and just light up the way if it is really quite dark. So that should be really good. I'm getting it on both PC and Xbox, and on PC at least, or maybe on Xbox as well, I'm not quite sure. The maps are going to be bigger than anything that I've experienced before in a Battlefield game, so I'm really looking forward to that. That should be really fun, should make for some epic, huge things. There was a gameplay released, I think it was Caspian Border, that was what it's called, and that just looked epic on such a huge scale, and it just looks amazing. Yeah, so PC should be good. I'm not great with a mouse and keyboard, but I think I'll be able to get the hang of it. Yeah, and also on PC, which sadly isn't coming to Xbox, but is 64-player multiplayer, and I think right now it's 32, so this is double the amount of players that I've ever had before. So that should be like pretty spectacular, and the fact that there is 64-player multiplayer is part of the reasoning behind bigger maps. So yeah, that should also just make everything a lot more epic than it would otherwise be. Yeah, and also, obviously, what I forgot to mention in the last video is that the graphics on this game are, like, amazing. They are, like, Crisis 2 level, if not more. It is a beautiful, beautiful game. And I built a new PC for it, which with a really good graphics card, so I should be able to get a lot out of it. And even on Xbox, I've seen, like, not playtests, like, walkthroughs and stuff on Xbox. The game still looks amazing. Better than, like, most other games you'll ever see on it. Jets is another thing I'm really looking forward to. Apart from, apparently it's quite hard to control jets on a mouse and keyboard, so what a lot of people have suggested is that you plug in a wired controller, because apparently analog sticks are a lot easier to fly smoothly with like a jet than like a mouse and keyboard with just buttons and a mouse. Yeah, so that should be really good. Apparently, also, in the game mode Rush, which I'm sure most of you are familiar with, where the bases sort of move on, when the base changes, when you take the base and move up, it's sort of just like black border. You're not really allowed past this border unless you take the bases. And apparently the transitions between each base is a lot more, not necessarily smooth, but a lot more original. It's not just like a black border, like something actually happens which creates a new pathway. Like apparently in one you're like on a ship, maybe I think it's probably something similar to Shipment in COD 4. Not Shipment, Wet Work, sorry. And so you're fighting on the top of the ship, and if you take the base, like a big hole in the side of the ship just gets like blown up, and then you'll like jump into that. So that just sounds really amazing, and it's probably going to draw people in a lot more than before. Also the dog tag system, which I mentioned last video, where if you assassinate someone from behind, sort of stealthily, that is how you get their dog tags. So dog tags are going to be a lot more prestigious, and the fact that you can customize your dog tags like actually really puts something behind it. So say you're playing against friends and you're trying to get their dog tags, when you do, it's going to be like real satisfaction, really good bragging rights. So yeah, that should be really good. Also prone is being added to the game. Well, not added, re-added, I forget to say. So yeah, that I'm not quite sure. Like, I've never played a Battlefield game with prone in it, and I don't think it will be too much of a problem, really. I mean, maybe there'll be a couple of camping people, but I think it probably won't be too much of a problem. Also, squad deathmatch, which if you played Battlefield Bad Company 2, you might be familiar with. It's sort of 4 squads, I think. I think it's 4. Yeah, no, it's 4 squads in a map with no vehicles, and you just sort of fight each other. And it's quite fun because you can, like, well, it can be fun. I mean, it can be quite frustrating, but if you get a good squad together, it's a pretty fun game mode. And they're actually expanding it, so probably to go along with the bigger maps, actually. They're allowing maybe 6 squads in one game of squad deathmatch. So yeah, that should be pretty amazing. Also, this sort of goes along with graphics, kind of. More just the engine upgrade itself. Is the destructible environments are going to be even more detailed. Like what you can do in some objects in Battlefield Bad Company 2, is you can sort of chip away at them, but a lot of it is pretty. Well, it's not very useful, and a lot of things you can't chip away at, like walls, for example. You sort of blow a pretty rigid section in the wall, and blow out even, blow out a rigid section in the wall. But from the looks of it, destruction is going to be a lot more detailed and individual. Like it's not going to all look the same. Like you see the same buildings being destroyed all the time in like Battlefield, but I think it's going to be a lot more unique. It's going to be more unique each game. Each game is going to be more different. So yeah, those are the real things that I'm very excited for in Battlefield. I mean, it's going to be a great game. I'm very much looking forward to it. So all my friends, I'm not actually going to get Modern Warfare 2, not because I have anything particularly against Modern Warfare 3. Sorry, it's not because I have anything particularly against COD, but I played so much of it in the past few years that I really do need a change, and those games are very, very expensive either way. So yeah. So I hope you enjoyed this commentary. Please leave in the comment section, please do, what you want me to talk about next time. I'd really, really appreciate that. I mean, like, literally just ask me anything. Ask me to talk about, like, literally anything you can even think of. So yeah, I'd really appreciate that. Give a like and a favourite if you think it deserves it. The gameplay's wrapping up now. I'll leave you with this final score. Well, I'll leave you with the final score once the game ends. But yeah, thank you for watching. Goodbye.
Yeah, I got eyes on enemy. Objective Bravo secure. Alpha.